Hello friends, it's the first week of February, which means it's time to revisit our tarot pulls and talk about what happened in January. First month of the year is over already. It went by quite quickly, and I'm hoping that February goes by just as quickly, if not more, because I am kind of really desperate for spring. I've been saying this to friends and family. I'm not usually the kind of person, and I think I said this in my last year review video in a similar way. I'm not really the kind of person who's like, last year was terrible, I can't wait for a new year, like I need a new year, or like I desperately need to get out of this season, unless it's summer, because I try to save all of my complaining for summer because I hate it so much. So I'm usually not that kind of person though who's like desperate to get out of winter or desperate to get into a new year, but for the first time in my life I'm really feeling it. And I think I just actually this morning noticed one of the reasons why. In my new bedroom I have a window to my right here, and it looks out on the building across from it. Like, it looks out into a back alley and there's a building. So my view is a brick wall. And I sort of thought about that when we were moving in here, and was like, I'm fine. I'll take that view. I can live with it. I'm not like a seasonally depressed person or anything like that. But yeah, I was doing yoga today and I was like, it's a little bit of a problem. Especially in the winter when you're already like not getting outside as much, and I'm really an outdoors person, so not much to be done, but yeah, at least I pinpointed something, and I'm really looking forward to spring and going out in our little backyard and doing yoga there, and that's going to be lovely. But anyway, I hope all of you are doing well. I have seen some of you in sprints through the last month, and I have managed to do sprints every week on Discord and on YouTube, so that's a really good start to things. And just in general, for me, I had a really, really productive January. And it's funny because I've been so organized, which is helping me be productive, but by being so organized, I don't feel like I'm doing as much. Do you know what I mean? Like, without that chaos and stress, it's like things are just kind of chugging along. That said, I have had a little bit of chaos and stress in the day job, which I normally don't have at all. So it's good that all of my other stuff has been so organized to support that. So I can have, a little bit of chaos thrown into the mix and still manage to do everything that I'm planning to do. So yeah, quick little touch on the day job. I think I mentioned this in my video, my first year reflections on last year video, that I am in a new role now. So I'm a sales operations coordinator, which means that I'm working directly with our CEO, and he is wonderful. So I'm really happy about that. But it's, it's a whole new ball game. Lots of new technology to learn, processes, a whole different system for basically how I do things on a day-to-day basis, and just, a lot more responsibility, which I'm the kind of person who's really good at just stepping up for that kind of thing. But yeah, it's been an experience, but I've really enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to just seeing how that goes moving forward. And also, side note, if you have a company, or anyone you know has an e-commerce company and you need some awesome people to work on it, like make your website better, or help you with email marketing to get into all of that, then yeah, let me know, because I work with an awesome agency and we would love to help you out. So there's my pitch. And let's get into tarot, and I'll talk a little bit more about my writing and stuff like that through that, and also go through what I've been doing with my accountability group. And hopefully you can also have something to take away from this if you want to be more organized and accountable yourself. All right, so I pulled for myself the Six of Swords. It was upright. Now I'm going to be looking at my computer here for notes, so if you see me staring down, that is what I'm looking at. So this sort of meant I was looking at one version of, one explanation of it in my Druidic Tarot deck and book. And it was sort of talking about travel, but I also looked at Labyrinthios, I think it's called, to find some other notes on it, because it's always interesting to see other like interpretations and discussions about a card. So that website was saying that you're experiencing a transition of some kind, but one that's not happy and filled with regret. It's kind of funny because I am definitely experiencing a transition, but I'm very happy about it. There's no regret, but I guess if anything, there's a little bit of melancholy just for, what used to be. And we're moving away from the Stygian society. We're still going to be a society. We're still going to be Stygian, but what it originally was is going to look very, very different. And as part of that, I actually made a decision this month to hold, instead of a launch party, we're having a funeral. And it's going to be called Stygian Last Rites. So we're going to have a, wake. It's going to be I think I've set up 5 acts for it. And we're going to go through sort of like the funeral process and then have a rebirth where we announce what's going on with Stygian media at the end. And it's going to be very theatrical and involve the people who are going to be a part of the new venture. We're going to have some music, all of that stuff. So there is some melancholy to it, but I wouldn't say I'm unhappy at all. Other notes about this card was just, it's likely because of decisions you made in the past. They're forcing you to leave something behind in order to move forward. And I guess there was definitely a forceful element of this that I didn't expect and didn't want, but it was necessary just for, so many reasons. So yeah, it says, despite your sadness, you need to remember that moving on is the ideal option for your future. So I think even though I'm happy about where I'm at and where things are headed, there has been melancholy around parts of it. And there's a quote here that, a highlight here that just says on their website that despite your sadness, you need to remember that moving on is the ideal option for your future. So that is the highlight. And yeah, I have been sad, but I'm not sad this year at all. And the thing is, life is filled with moments when you're going to be forced into letting go of things that you've become attached to. And I find that whenever I have done that, it does open up a pathway for something new, especially, when something's off, and that can apply to work, relationships, personal projects, and ignoring that can be a bad thing. And a lot of the time I ignore that because I don't want to rip the band-aid off. I don't want to be harmful, and then it builds to a point where there's this final straw that breaks the camel's back, and things just blow up. But it makes way for something better. And I always say to myself, this too shall pass. My mom always says this too. And I think that that's a really important kind of stoic thing to keep in mind when you are going through tough phases and you're in that rebirth phase. A couple other notes that are listed on this website, they have, love meaning, career meaning, finances. So for love, it was moving on from a relationship or reconciling after a fight. Career, leaving a stressful workplace, moving to a new role. I did move to a new role. And finances are finding material stability again and learned lessons. Now, I have not had to learn a financial lesson for a long time, really, except as I just said that, I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Part of my restructure with Stygian is to make it more financially viable to keep going on, and we are making changes that'll make it easier for us to get grants, a lot of things like that. So that was a financial lesson. I was thinking personally because moved into a new role, money is going to be a little bit better now for me personally, although I am still going to have to play catch up a lot from the past months where things were a little bit tight. So it is going to be stable. It's just going to take a little bit of time. And yeah, so that was actually quite accurate for my January card. Now, before I get into all the stuff I did with writing, I'm going to go into your card. So the card I pulled for everyone on this channel was the reverse 3 of Pentacles. So this was a little bit more uncertain, a little bit, I wouldn't say negative, but just, more uncertain for the beginning of the month and the beginning of the year, which I was saying last time can totally make sense. The beginning of the year, even though that is an arbitrary thing, can be a time where you need to regroup a lot, you need to recover a lot from the holidays, all those sort of things. So this, looking at this other definition of the card, it shows that there's a lack of teamwork, people are working against each other, undermining a project, and there's competition. There's sort of displays of superiority, a scarcity of resources, and you need to try to ensure that your camaraderie is brought back together, and just difficulty overall in projects. And the little bullet points are: in love, there could be conflicts in practical life, not being a good teammate in love. In career, you have stress and frustration amongst colleagues and office politics. And finances, it just says maybe you're avoiding learning about them. So it is just this general theme of things being a little in disarray, avoidant, that sort of thing. So I would be really curious to learn if you were feeling that this month, if any of you were feeling that this month, and also if you feel like you weren't feeling it, just to meditate on that for a second, because as you just saw with me, I'm filming this script free because I would prefer to do that when I'm able to, which means it's going to be a little bit more rambly, but you see that as I'm saying something, I'm realizing, no, that's actually true. So try to meditate on those points and think, is that true? And let me know, because I'd be very curious. All right, now I talked about how I've been keeping myself accountable in a lot of ways. This channel is one of them. Very happy that I have managed to pass 1 month with putting out a weekly video every single week, which has been so long since I did that. And I mean, part of that is because I'm on break with Haunted Montreal. There was 1 week in January where I put out a Haunted Montreal video as well, and it was a little much, but I think that was mostly because of my new role at work as well, and things are only going to get more and more comfortable with that, so it'll be okay. My plan as of April, actually you should go and watch that Haunted Montreal video because it's more details on the Stygian relaunch. So I'm going to link that in the pinned comment down below so you can check it out if you're curious about what's going to be happening, because I mentioned it lightly here, but it's going to be a lot, and I'm really, really excited. But I am going to be doing a monthly video for Haunted Montreal as of April, so I think that it is going to be manageable. It's going to be a big video with research and travel and footage, travel within the city, but also elsewhere eventually. We're hoping to do road trips and stuff like that. But there's going to be, going out and doing a lot of filming on location and stuff like that. But it's going to be spread out through the month, and I predict that I will be able to continue with my weekly writing videos because I want to get through this whole year with doing that again, because I miss it, and I'm sure that you've missed it too. And yeah, it would be nice to reconnect and also bring some more people to the channel and just share things about writing. Anyway, all right. So for accountability, this channel, I also have my Asana, which I mentioned, and I have been checking it almost daily, if not daily, every 2 to 3 days. I have my planner brain here. It's full. Every week is, full. And I have an accountability group with some of my friends who are also entrepreneurial and creative, and that's been really cool. It's been a bit of a struggle to do that. We've been doing it on Monday nights, and it's at the end of my workday on a Monday. So Monday is when a lot is happening, and it's just like, oh my gosh. So by the end of the day, there was 1 week where we had to do it in the chat, like a little update in the chat, rather than hopping on video, because I just couldn't host. But one of the things I'm doing to pivot with that is I'm going to ask people to do rotating hosting, because when you're hosting, the way we do it is like, what did you do last week? What are you planning to do next week? And then we share something about like either what we've learned or something good that happened. And as the person who's leading that conversation, you have to be really in it, right? And I'm already ADHD, so it's very helpful for me to be able to also do like little side tasks while I'm in a video, like while I'm in a video chat. I do that a lot at work. That's no secret. Everyone at my work does. We'll be like doing little tasks while we're in meetings. Maybe we're all like that. But it's helpful for me to do that, and it actually helps me focus more and just be a little more present. But anyway, the point is I'm going to hopefully do rotating hosting, and that'll help me a little bit, and maybe try to switch it to Sundays instead, just because, oh my gosh, it's brutal. After my days are 9:30 to 6, Mondays have been like 6 meetings or something, so it's a lot to then hop on a video chat, even though it's, something I want to be doing with people who I love, but oh my gosh. All right. But it's been going really well. So I'm gonna just go through my accountability document. One of the things I made, because I'm insufferable, is a document that I'm forcing everyone to fill out every week. So we have our weekly goals, completion status, and notes for reflection. So I was trying to get a handle on some funding that I wanted to get. This crowdfunding platform called LaRouche, which is a Quebec-based platform, which is really cool. And I had great talks with them last year, and they really like the stuff that I'm doing, and they thought that my original idea I was funding for would be really great, but it was for a brick and mortar bookstore in Hochelaga, because we don't really have... We have a thrift store bookstore, and we have a kid-focused bookstore and a comic bookstore. But there's, that's it. And then we also don't have any record stores. So I wanted to do, used books, records, little event space. But anytime you want money, they want you to have money up front already, which I don't have. I just need someone to give me a lump sum of money, and then I will make magic with it, but I can't find anyone to do that. So rather than take the risk, which it would have been, I'm pulling back, and I'm just going to be looking for funding for Stygian instead. So I'm thinking, what could we crowdfund for? Maybe for studio space or something like that. Anyway, I'm revisiting that, thinking on that a lot this year. Like I said, I've been good with my YouTube videos. I was going to revamp my Futurepreneur plan, which I still want to do, but you can't technically get Futurepreneur money for your own work. You can't get money if you're putting out your own books or videos, but I feel like there's a blurred line here with Stygian Media, because yes, some of my stuff is involved, but largely we are publishing other people, and there are other people on the network, and I am building an actual company, so I still have to meditate on that a little bit. We got Love Lies Dying out, the January zine. We're going to be promoting it. Oh my gosh, actually, yeah, I have to start that soon. That's going to go on the to-do list. I'm going to do a little Valentine's Day campaign for, dark Valentine's Day campaign for that. You can get the PDF version for $5 on our website, or you can go to blurb.ca and find it for $15 plus shipping, the print version. And, oh, it's so beautiful. I'm hoping to get some more videos up on Stygian's social media, but I'm a little bit how much should we do right now, because we're going to be renaming everything. Anyway, there's going to be some stuff for the zine on there, and I'll probably put up a little reel or something looking through it, because the print quality from Blurb, it's just chef's kiss. All right, I was checking in on Wikipedia. I've been trying to get a Wikipedia up for my dad, and he's a big figure in the comic industry. His company, Digital Chameleon, which I should have this. This is my little relic here. my mouse pad. His company, Digital Chameleon, was the first company that was coloring comics with Photoshop versus just pencil crayons. And it's a big thing, and he's won awards. He's an iconic colorist, and he doesn't have a Wikipedia page, because when we were working, I was working with Comic-Con, someone from our team took his Wikipedia and pasted it into the website for bios. Which, fine. Yeah, of course. I would think that's fine. It's a little bio page for Comic-Con, and he didn't have a website at the time. Wikipedia, and they are fighting me on this, the mods, they say this is not true, but I know it absolutely is, because I was on the Comic-Con team at the time. I know what happened. They're like, no, whoever put the Wikipedia up stole it from the Comic-Con website. Anyway, now the standards for Wikipedia are way higher than they've ever been, and I can technically put something forward, even though I'm biased, as long as I disclose, but I think because I'm his daughter, they're giving me an extra hard time. So hey, if anyone wants to edit a Wikipedia page, maybe I'll link that too, because it's supposed to be a public thing. So if anyone wants to edit a Wikipedia page and, I don't know, look up some info about Laverne Konjerski, the colorist, I could use all the help I can get. And I did try to put one up for myself. I didn't think that it would fly, but I don't know. I'm going to link both of them. And if anyone has a minute and wants to have some fun with Wikipedia, feel free. Sorry, I keep messing with my hair. I can see, like, I just redid it, as you can tell. I'm part ginger now, and it's all like, ignore me. All right. I have been working on a really cool writing plan with my friend Bonsart, who was featured in the first Stygian collection. I'm not going to say too much about that yet, but it's a dark Montreal work, and it's in game format. So we've been working on that a little bit. What else? We dropped the short film I was doing with Haunted Montreal because we didn't have the time to do it properly. It's going to come back at some point in the future, but I put a trailer out at the end of, was it? I guess it was at the end of December, and that was kind of fun. I've kept up on my emails, very happy with that. Kept up on Discord. Let's see, I just want to zip through the rest of this. I've been working a lot on pitch decks and business plans for Stygian Media. PR packages, things like that, just so we have a really good foundation. Feeling really good about how things are going to be heading into April. Like, we're, dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. Like I said, we have a promo photo shoot tomorrow. We are working on our next major publication with Stygian, which will be out in May. Pre-sales will open in April, so I'm going to start hyping that soon. A little hint, it is about a poltergeist, and if you go on the Haunted Montreal channel, you will find a little bit more about it. I got the first cover design done, and it's looking good so far. I've been onboarding our volunteers with Stygian to like what's gonna be happening in the next steps, and figuring out what they want to do and how they can get the most out of this, because it's basically like an internship role where I'm gonna be, they can put it on their resume and I'm gonna be their reference. I've been blogging on my personal website. I've been communicating with Donovan, the owner of Haunted Montreal, about how all this transition is going to work in collaboration with him. What else? We're going to be doing some horror screenings because we are getting a membership at this really cool art center, which is where we're going to be doing all of our filming for Haunted Montreal. That's also where we're doing the photo shoot. So I'm trying to make a plan for that. Work on the Stygian wake plan, and that's, oh yeah, and I'm writing. I think I've got, let's see, so through January I did like 8 sprinting sessions between Discord and YouTube. So on average, I haven't been able to do a lot of writing at the Discord sprints, honestly, because it's right at the end of my workday, and again, that's tough. But during the YouTube sprints, I've been doing about like 1,400 words. So, I don't know, ballpark like 6,000 words for the month, which is pretty good. I'm on I just finished chapter 11, and the final chapter is going to be chapter 12, and then there is a sort of chapter 13, but it's more of an epilogue. So it's getting there. It's really close, and I've decided, this is exciting and scary, that this is going to be our first serial release on Stygian Media. One of the things that we're going to be doing, we have a new pipeline for novels, and that is through serial release. And I'd been thinking about this for a long time, but wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it, how I wanted to put it in place, especially because we had a different system for putting spotlight publications out. So far, we've had the zine, where it's short stories, poetry, graphic novels, not graphic novels, but like comic pages. You can have 5 pages. We've had that, and we've had spotlight publications where, someone comes to us and we go through the whole process of putting the book out, 50-50 royalties, that sort of thing, hire an artist sometimes. But what we're going to be doing now, it finally, all clicked. We're going to have the zine, and then the way spotlight publications are going to happen is we're going to put out, if it's a short story collection, it'll be 1 story a month on our blog. If it's a novel, it'll be 1 chapter a month on our blog. And the author gets paid for each release, and they get a little illustration. The artist obviously gets paid too. I'm thinking maybe of doing my own illustrations. I was originally a visual artist, but I got to a certain point where I was happy with what I was doing and enjoying it, but it wasn't at that tier where it could be considered really professional, I don't think. And I just didn't want to go in that direction. Anyway, I'm thinking of coming back to it a little bit and doing the art for this novel. We'll see. Either way, the novel itself is going to be our first serial, and you'll be able to start reading it as of April. So the first chapter will be out on the Stygian media blog in April. We'll be promoting it. And then when it's all done, so this one, it'll go through a year. When it's all done, it gets, a final edit, because it's an edit as you go, which makes it easier on our editors. And then it'll all get put into a final package. The artist will get a final payment for doing the cover design. It's a great process, and it helps us build a community for something before fully releasing it. The author and the artist get more income, which is great. And I feel really, really good about it. And I'm excited to be the guinea pig for this and to show you my work. I am talking with another author as well who I would really, really like to do one of these. Well, two of them. One is already, we've published both of these authors already. And since Stygian is only going to be Canadian creators now, I couldn't reach out to everyone who I love. And there's especially there's so many people we've published who I would love to work with in this capacity. But doing this Canadian thing is very important for us as a business, and just, I think that especially in Canada right now, we're feeling like we want to be a little more like Canada focused, so that's what we're doing at the moment. Anyway, I'm hoping that our already published author, Matt Pohl, will want to do something at some point. He has to obviously have a project ready, and there's another author who was part of our zine group who I've reached out to. So we'll see. She seemed interested, but there will be more on that coming. Anyway, I think that is pretty much it. That's my rundown. I thought this video was going to be shorter, and I'm looking at my little filming timer, and we're at 28 minutes, so it's not going to be that short, but that's okay. This is my monthly catch up and ramble. It's our monthly review. And there's nothing wrong with having a lot of documentation of your life and your art and your process, especially, in the world of AI. There's no better way to defeat our AI overlords than being exceedingly human and showing our work. And if you want to know more about that, watch my Right Now video, because I go into that quite a bit. I think it's going to be very important moving forward. Anyhow, I will be back next week with another travel video. This one's in Orlando. Yes, there are a few Florida ones. I will be sprinting tomorrow, not today. Usually it would be a couple hours after my video comes out, but I have that photo shoot, so it'll be tomorrow from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern, and I hope to see you there. The live is already scheduled, so if you want to go to the live tab on my channel and hit the bell button, you will get notified when I go live so that you absolutely do not miss it. Until then, be sure to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you have not already, leave a comment, and until I see you again, I hope that you are having a day that is just as wonderful as you are. Bye.